Hello and welcome back to Care's Book Corner.
3, 2, 1.
My last video was about books that put me in a reading slump, and this is the opposite. I'm going to be talking about books that I read really quickly. If you haven't seen my last video, feel free to check it out after this one. As we know, I tried to match my shirt to the theme of the video, and today, because the theme of the video is books that I read quickly, I am wearing a shirt with moose on it, or meese. I don't know grammar. The reason why I'm wearing a shirt with moose on it is because moose, apparently, I googled this, move at a speed of 35 miles per hour, which is relatively fast, I think, for animals. Me reading books in under an hour is relatively fast. I was going to wear one of my, race t-shirts, but then I was like, I am not fast, so that seems a little misleading. We're gonna get right into it, because I have been stumbling, fumbling, and mumbling over my words long enough, but the first book is a book that I loved, and this book is Almond. This book I finished within 24 hours. It's small, but that's not the reason I finished within 24 hours. I feel like this book was just very encapsulating. This book is about a boy who has a brain condition where he can't feel emotions, and it's a coming-of-age story where he's learning what that means, why people think that he's weird. There's friendship and there's love, and I love this book. This book, as the cover mentions, is a very tender book. It's not wholesome per se, but it's not wholesome. It made me warm. So I would 100% recommend this book. I would read the trigger warnings. This book I blazed through so quickly, and I absolutely adore this book. I have nothing bad to say about this book. The next book that I read within 24 hours is The 7-Year Slip. And this book, I feel like if you just want a cheeky little romance story, something that's fun, something that's flirty, something that's just easy breezy, beautiful, this book is it. This book is just vibes. It's very whimsical, it's very light, it's very fluffy. Honestly, when I read this, that's exactly what I needed. This book is a magical realism story where this main character moves into an apartment, but randomly the apartment turns 7 years into the past. And when she travels 7 years in the past, she meets this guy, and it's about their love story, and it's honestly just so cute. It's just so cute. If you just want something light, something fun, this book is it. The next book is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. This book I read really quickly because it's a picture book. So if I didn't read this within 24 hours, I would be concerned for my well-being. With that said, despite it being a picture book, I feel like this has a lot of depth to it. It's not a children's book. It is just a very pretty, well-illustrated book. It has a lot of deep meaning. It says a lot about friendship, and it's just cute, and it's so wholesome. This book just made me happy for a little bit, and it was just so cute. Because this book is so approachable, I feel like you could read this to your kid, and you could also read this to your grandparent, and they would enjoy it just the same. The next book is I Hope This Finds You Well. I think I read this within 1 to 2 days, and this book had me giggling, had me kicking my feet, and it's not even a romance main plot. This book is romance subplot. I love this book. Shout out to the book club member for recommending me this book. But this book is about a main character who suddenly has access to all of her coworkers' emails and chats. And it's just like a comedy. And through this book, you just hear her character growth and her character story. And I think this book is so cute. I will say that I was talking to one of my friends about this book, and she said that this book gave her secondhand cringe. So I guess if you don't like reading books in which you experience secondhand cringe, probably this book is not for you, because this character does a lot of things that some may find cringe. I ate that up. I ate it up like it was my favorite chocolate cake. I love this book. I have nothing bad to say about it. I think it's funny. I think it's light. I would recommend this book. And considering how big it is, the fact that I read this within a couple of days is really impressive. I am not a fast reader. My average speed of reading is one book every couple of weeks, and that's me actually reading the book. Me reading a book within 24 to 48 hours is actually pretty impressive. It's a big feat for me. Similarly to the way that I run, I also read very slowly. The next book is One True Loves. This book is a little romance book. It is not fluffy or light, but it is a good one. It's a romance book that has a little bit of trauma, which, I love. It has a little bit of depth, a little bit of darkness, a little bit of banter, a little bit of laughs. This book I read in one night. I remember distinctly reading this within a couple of hours, which again is just impressive for me. And this book is about this main character. Her husband's helicopter goes missing when he's on an adventure. It's her story about dealing with that. She maybe finds love with another person, and then perhaps her lost husband is found. None of these are spoilers because it's all in the back of the book. I would recommend this book. The banter was good. It made me laugh. It made me smile. It had a little bit of trauma. The next book that I read very quickly was Rest in the Morning. This book is very small, very thin, and it makes sense that I read this within a couple of hours because this book is also a poetry book. And the thing is, it's like, yes, well, I did read this within a couple of hours. Should I have? Probably not. Because I feel like, especially with poetry, it makes a lot of sense to read like one or two and just let it sit there and let it simmer. Because I make bad decisions, I did not do that. I just read the whole thing cover to cover. I did enjoy this poetry collection. I feel like it is just dark. It's about relationships, loss, grief, being broken. If that sounds perhaps interesting to you, maybe you should also explore therapy like I have, and this could be a substitute for therapy. I'm kidding. This is not going to be a substitute for therapy. Please, if you need it, go get therapy. The next book that I read very quickly within a couple of days is Better by Far, and I really enjoyed this book. This book is about a breakup where the couple shares an apartment for the next couple of months as they try to figure out their own life. I feel like this book broke my heart. This book made me know what true heartbreak was like, what being in a long-term relationship was like, and then getting your heart broken by that person. It's such a good book. I would again read the trigger warnings. The way that it talks about loneliness and grief after a breakup is so good. It's so good. And like, if I ever get my heart broken, which I hope I don't, I want to read this book again so I can actually relate to it on a personal level. This book is just so good. And the last book that I read really quickly is This Is a Miko Do You Copy. This one is, again, a very small, little, cheeky little book. It's translated from Japanese, and I thought this book was okay, if I'm being honest. Which, now that I think about it, I probably should have ended it on a book that I really enjoyed. But this book was just fine. This book was fine. This book is about this little girl who doesn't really, like, have a filter, who people see as, like, a little oddball, and you kind of hear her story. And I feel like similarly to Almond, which actually, we bookended it with translated literature about children. It has the same vibe as Almond, but it doesn't do it quite as well. So if I had to read Almond or This Is a Miko Do You Copy, I'd probably read Almond. But this book was a decent read nonetheless. It was a quick one. So if like you see it and you want to read it and you liked Almond, perhaps this one is a good next step for you. It's quick, it's short, and that was the last book. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go bake some cookies. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already and you want to, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Arm's tired. My foot is numb. My back aching, my bra too tight, my hips are shaking from the left to the right. I'll see you in the next one.